Hey everybody, welcome back to Review the Nerds. I'm Vincent.
And I'm Mike, and today we're going to be doing a trailer reaction to Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yes. Oh, starry night. Camera, right?
Looks like she's about to puke.
A little sweaty. He's a fan.
Breathe. Just breathe.
It's like when Kenobi said that in the first one, right?
Reach out.
A little bit.
I think he said New Hope.
What do you see?
Stuff.
Light. Darkness.
Must be in the temple, right?
A balance.
I think it's in the temple.
Yeah, what's left of it.
So much bigger.
Spray paint ships.
I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end.
Well, that's dark. Huh. Okay.
Well, Luke sounded very chipper at the end. Force Awakens came out, massive success, had its problems, but overall, people pretty much enjoyed it. Then was followed up by Rogue One just a few months ago, and that one seemed to be a little more split. I think for the most part, people liked it, but I know a lot of people who didn't. But overall, it was still successful. It was still really successful.
I mean, they got pretty rave critical reviews. I don't know what you mean by split. It wasn't really split.
I know, I'm just saying, I don't know. Upon second rewatch, I just found more issues with it than the first time I watched it.
Honestly, I like it more and more the more I see it. But one of the biggest criticisms I had about The Force Awakens was the rehashing, was the reuse of previously used stuff, most notably from A New Hope. And I think a lot of people were concerned going into this one, are they just going to do more rehashing, more recopying of maybe Empire Strikes Back? You know, you got the characters split up, you got Rey training with, I almost said Yoda, with Luke Skywalker. He's saying Yoda-like stuff to her a little bit.
I mean, there's going to be some reused elements. It's the Star Wars series. Some things are going to rehappen. But you want the majority of it to be new and interesting and fresh. Because that's one people saying, like, we liked Force Awakens. You reused a lot of stuff, but we liked it. Don't do that again. Make it likable, make it different. That's what people want. They still want Star Wars. They want different.
Yeah, I forgave Force Awakens. I mean, I definitely had my issues, like the whole trench run in the Death Star point 3.0, whatever the hell it was now. You know, I just, but as long as they don't do that a second time, I will forgive it. If they do it again in this one, then that'll be too much, man.
Yeah, no, I hope they don't do it. I mean, it'd probably be dark, like Empire Strikes Back will be, because that's what the second one in a trilogy usually is, the darker one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just kind of, you know, so that probably will be happening again. But other than that,
yeah,
hopefully. It'd be just funny if John Boyega got tortured by, like remember how Han got tortured? He's like, ah! Ah! He just put down the shit.
What the hell is that?
Remember the torture scene? That's not Han Solo. Go back and watch Empire Strikes Back. When Han Solo is getting tortured, no offense to Harrison Ford, but there's always something weird about the way he was wailing in pain.
Let's see how you wail in pain if you're being electrocuted and whatever else was being done to him. The other thing I noticed in this was that there was a lot of imagery that, I don't know, it just reminded me of other things. Like when Rey's hand comes down and
Man
like...
of Steel.
Yeah, it totally made me think of Man of Steel when the little pieces of Earth are rising up and stuff like that.
Pebbles and shit.
Then the ships coming over the top with like the spray paint pooping out their back. You know, the red...
What was that?
And
why was Finn asleep?
I don't know, but...
I have a little theory about that, actually. May I throw that out there? And I'll admit there might be a stretch bit. So remember in Force Awakens, when Finn's battling Kylo Ren, he takes that lightsaber to the back, he just gets slashed out his spine. Mm-hmm. I think, and I could be wrong, but here's my theory, I think in order to save Finn, they had to implant some kind of cybernetic prosthetic to his spine to make it work. And when he's in that ship, the reason why his eyes are closed is that his spine is now connected to the ship, and he's piloting it with his mind.
Well, one thing...
You don't believe me? Look at your face!
Well, one thing is that I actually don't think that those two things are connected. I don't think that Finn was in that ship. I think that was just a separate scene, personally. I think
Dash my dreams, Mike.
I think Finn is just in a recovery pod, just like Luke Skywalker was after his injuries. I think he's just recovering, but...
What's it in water?
But, you know, he might have some kind of mechanical thing for his spine. I'm not going to doubt that, but I don't think they're going to plug him in like the Matrix or anything to a ship. I just don't think that's likely to happen.
There's that scene where like it looks like Rey's training on some rocks in front of the ocean, and there's a figure at the edge of the rocks, and when we saw it, I'm like, that's a statue. But apparently there's a lot of people online who thinks that's Yoda for some reason. It's clearly a friggin' statue, people. I don't know why people think it's Yoda.
I don't even know what you're talking about, actually.
It's so quick. It's like this a few seconds where Rey's like, looks like she's training or something on rocks, and there's some kind of figure. But it just looks like a damn statue to me. We are at an old Jedi temple.
I actually have to see this for myself.
Yeah, there's... that could be Yoda!
That?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding, man. People
That's
think...
not Yoda!
I know, I'm not kidding. I saw an article online. People are like, is this Yoda? Is that Yoda? It could be Yoda. No, it's not Yoda. It's a freaking statue.
Last time I checked, Yoda was not huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it could be forced perspective where he could be closer to the camera,
yeah.
But that doesn't... Nothing about that makes me think Yoda.
I know, man. I mean, when we were watching, I was like, that's not Yoda. That's
but you
a
know
statue.
what? But you know what? I'd be totally down if he was in this as a Force Ghost.
No.
What? As a Force Ghost?
No.
Oh my god.
He can make a Force cameo.
Alright, you're telling me... Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cameo. Quick one.
Well, I mean, it would be kind of weird if he was just like, hi, I'm Yoda, bye. I mean, but I think the thing is...
I just wanted to do. See how New Jedi was going, I wanted to see.
Now, here's the thing. It should absolutely focus on the relationship with her and Luke. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yoda should not trample on that. I'm not saying that at all. No. It should never overshadow that. But if maybe... You know what I'd be cool with? If Luke, in private, when he's doubting whether or not to train her, in private, he has counsel by a Force Yoda. Not involving her. In private. That could work.
It could work, but I would prefer to see like the young person, that Rey is the one who motivates him to like change his mind.
All right, maybe fine, but I still think in private, a small council thing at some point in private, not involving her, would be totally satisfying your needs. Plus, it would be giving a cameo.
Yeah, that way we can see this cliche scene. He's talking to Yoda. Rey walks in, and like Yoda pops out before she's like, "Who are you talking to?"
Well, you don't need to do the cliche.
It's gonna happen. I swear to God, if they do that, it's gonna happen. Mark my words. Save this clip. It's gonna happen. If that happens, she's gonna be like, "Who are you talking to?" There's another brief thing here where it seems like inside, I guess, Luke's little cave or whatever, there's like a table with some books on it, and then I guess it's Rey. She's touching some kind of symbol on the table, some kind of crest or emblem. And I've seen that crest somewhere before, and then it sparked a memory. A while back, I was studying up on why lightsabers have different colors, and when I was doing that, I found out there is an order of Jedi called the Grey Jedi, and basically they're kind of, if you're Star Wars fans, probably a lot have heard of them. The Grey Jedi is, they're not light side and not dark side. They kind of walk the line between, and they really don't associate with the Jedi Council unless they need to. So there might be a whole new order of Jedi to be involved in this story. Or maybe Luke became a Grey Jedi, and that's why things got messed up. Maybe that's why Kylo Ren turned against him, because he's like, you're supposed to be a Jedi! What's this Grey bull crap? I don't know. But might be some Grey Jedi involvement, which I think was just from the EU, so they may be bringing something back from the EU, which would be cool.
The one image that they showed was someone falling to their knees beside R2-D2 as this thing is ablaze and engulfed in fire. So, question is this a flashback? Is this what happened when Kylo Ren took the Knights of Ren and killed the Jedi at the temple that Luke was training them in? That's a possibility. The other thing, though, too, is that the silhouetted figure that falls down, you can't totally tell if it's Luke. Is it the present? Is it Rey who's falling down? Also some people think there's some hints in this that Luke could possibly die in this movie. There's the title that everyone makes a big deal about. There's, just some, also if you follow tradition, he's the Yoda character. Yoda dies at some point. So, I don't know what that scene is completely trying to tease, but it's either a flashback or it's a current thing. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna go with flashback because Force Awakens left a lot of questions about why Kylo Ren turned. What happened? What was his reason for turning to the dark side? Was Rey involved? What's the deal with her past? Is it all connected? Is it separate or is it indirectly connected? I definitely think we're getting a lot of flashbacks and we're getting a lot of background on Kylo and on Rey.
Honestly, I would also just love, I know that, Harrison Ford has said he's done, but I would love a flashback where he's dropping young Ben Solo off at the training academy, and you get a little bit of that backstory of like what their relationship was like when he was a kid, and you get that abandonment in that moment where he feels abandoned by Han and everything, and then you get the moment of establishing between Luke and Ben their connection in the beginning. I would love to see that flashback, and God would I love to see Han Solo back one last time. But
I would count too, unless it's like, we made him younger with CGI. It looks realistic, doesn't it? Remember Grand Moff Tarkin? Didn't that feel realistic?
Grand Moff Tarkin was recreating someone who's dead. This would be more on par with Michael Douglas in Ant-Man or Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
Yeah.
So,
if they do that, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, so yeah, I'm all on board with flashbacks. I know it kind of breaks from like the traditional narrative storytelling of Star Wars because they don't usually do flashbacks. But I don't think they're going to do another prequel series about what happened to Ben's, whole thing, so they should probably just squeeze in a little bit.
Exactly. They don't have time to do a prequel series. They got more movies to make every year until we're all dead.
And
Disney.
At the moment, I'm totally on board for it. I know eventually it might get old, but it's not old yet. I'm so excited. I love this series. It's got Star Wars attached on the title. I'm on board. I'm totally on board. I'm excited to see where the story's going.
Yeah. I'm excited for this film. Once again, I hope they just don't do what Force Awakens did, where they recycle things. I know why they did it for Force Awakens, because they just wanted to make an enjoyable Star Wars movie. But now that we have that again, we need some new, we need some interesting. Once again, I expect it to be dark, like Empire Strikes Back was, but that's just how sequels are in the trilogy. So I'm really interested to learn more about Rey's backstory, learn about Kylo Ren's backstory, find out who Snoke is. I really want to find out who Snoke is for one simple reason. I'm tired of going on the internet every day and seeing 20 articles and forums about maybe Snoke's really a banana. What the hell? Stop all the speculation.
I think Disney's doing a pretty good job so far. The only real concern is what Vincent brought up is just doing what's already been done. As long as they can veer away from that and get original, I can't wait. And, as it is, I'll see every one of these that comes out, probably. Yeah. I mean, even if I hear it's a bad one, I will still see it. I'm a freaking Star Wars fan to the end. So, can't wait for Christmas. I can't wait for the next trailer. I want to see more. I want to see more of what they're doing. But don't show too much. But just enough. Just enough.
Yeah. This one was okay. We needed a little more, though. This trailer was okay. It wasn't bad. It was a little feel for the movie, what the tone's going to be. But next trailer, a little bit of information. Yeah. A little bit of information. Beyond the fact that really the only information we get in this is Luke don't want to train Rey.
Yeah, I will say
there's no pat of face. I don't want to train you.
Yeah, I will say for a teaser, it didn't excite me as much as I wanted it to. But the thing is, they don't really need to, because if it has Star Wars attached to it, they already know people are going to show up. Yeah. I mean, of course, I want a little bit more get me pumped. But yeah, next time.
Come on, Disney. We had Thor Ragnarok the other week. That was a really good trailer.
I'll say right now, that trailer got me, I was like, ooh, in that trailer. This one didn't get me like super pumped. Yeah. I mean, but I'm still on board.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Disney. You got to pump it up now. You did with Marvel, you gotta pump it up with Star Wars. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's all I got, Mike. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave us a like. Tell us what you're thinking down in the comments. Is there any little bits that you picked out of the trailer that we may have missed? Or do you agree with us, disagree with whatever? Let us know. And please, as always, subscribe to our channel. But until next time, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Mike.
And this has been
Review of the Nerds.
We'll catch you next time.